Welcome back to 10 Foot Customs, and on this episode we're going to work on putting the garage door in that belongs right here. So from that point to a little bit outside the camera range, 16 by 7 foot door, and I just picked up a door on Marketplace. I got the door, the opener, the tracks, everything for $150. It's a used door obviously, but who cares? It will work for our purposes very well. I just have to get it breezed. This building gets so stuffy inside that it's literally impossible to work in there without feeling like you're gonna die and pass out. It's just so hot when any kind of sun is on the building. So if I can get a door in here, we can get a cross breeze, because from the backyard to the front, there's usually a nice breeze. It'll blow through here and help cool off the garage. And again, continue help drying out. It's drying out pretty well. We've had not a ton of rain here recently, so it is starting to dry out. So if I can get it to dry out the rest of the way, that would be perfect. But yeah, we're gonna work on the garage door. I was gonna start on the outside here, getting rid of this metal paneling, but as things go, I forgot my angle grinder at Kobe's house. So we're gonna have to work on the inside and assemble it, then put it up, and then we can, then we can cut this exterior metal away. Right now it's just being supported on 2x4s on the inside, which I'll show you right now. And we'll see what we're gonna do. I've never done one on a steel building. I have installed a couple, but never on a steel building. So let's go on inside. And already just like that, a change of plans. Literally right when I turned off the camera, my brother called, and he lives 10 minutes from me, and he's got an angle grinder I'm gonna go borrow. And we'll get back to cutting out the sheet metal, which I'll show you right now. And that way we can get some airflow while I'm working on the garage door in here, because it's easily 15 degrees hotter in this building. So right here is where our other door is going in. Right now, again, this is just here just to hold up the paneling, because it was flopping around because there was nothing supporting it in the middle. So these easily unscrew, take these out, take this lower board out, and then I'll come and cut. I'll probably cut it before I remove these and just do it section at a time. Cut a section, pull it out, cut a section, pull it out. That way it's easier to handle, and I'm not gonna bend them, because I would like to reuse these. I do have a plan for them in the future, but for right now, I just wanna get a functioning door in here. So let me go get the angle grinder, and we will cut this and see immediately if we get a cooler building by having this open. I'm back with the grinder, and I just test cut some of this. It cuts pretty easily. Obviously, it's pretty thin sheet metal. And I don't cut all the way through because of these indents. I don't make it through there, which is good, which means I can cut the entire inside out and then go outside and clip the spots between the panel sections and then take those out individually from the outside. So I'm going to continue cutting all the way up here, and we'll cut the other side, and then we'll cut across the top maybe. I may leave the top. I haven't decided on that yet. But let's go all the way up this side, and we'll do that side, and then we'll get some of these panels out of the way and get some airflow in here. I'm going to continue cutting this side and do that side, and then once this is all cut from the inside, I'll bring it back to the outside where we'll do the individual cutting the sections out and taking the sections out. This is just going to take time, and it's just cutting. So I shut the lights off so you can actually see a little better. So we are cut. I really don't have to cut there because there's a seam, so I didn't finish from there over. I should be able to pull this panel out, because I'm just like shaving off the very end of the panel right there. And it's not worth cutting it. I could have just peeled it out, and I didn't realize that. So whatever, that's fine. This side is cut all the way up except for where it dips in. And the same on this side. From the outside, I'll just cut the corners and then pull these panels. I'll go show you out there right now. Got Andrew out here working on his car because we're gonna finally fix the axle problem with him backing bolts out. We're going to tack weld some bolts on the axle, but that's another repair that we're doing. Okay, so out here in the forest, jungle, whatever, see I've cut up to there. I'll connect those two corners, cut along the top here. I'll do that final cut once this panel comes out, and then we'll connect this corner there and cut down to the bottom there on both sides. So let me get that done, and then it's just going to be unbolt like 2 screws and 2 screws, and this bottom piece will come out, then unbolt, and then we'll take them out in sections. So watch these guys install this stuff, so it should just be a reverse of how they installed it. I know this is a new panel here, I do believe. This is a short panel. Come on. I know I'm partially attached over here still. Oh, see, there's our seam. Oh, let me nip this. Lift up there. One piece. Right, just put your finger underneath it because it wants to slide down. Yep. Once I get this screw out, the whole thing will want to slide down. Okay, now very carefully, go to your end without slicing your hand open and grab a piece of that metal that you can grab. You got it from the top? The top's gonna be your safest bet. Take it down that way. We'll just lay it down right behind the garage. Like that. You guys are. Not yet. Because I'll have to cut really quick before we do anything else. It's still hooked underneath the piece above it. So if you come here in the middle, just kind of push up right here. Yeah. I'll get that screw out and then that screw out, and then both of us will take it down. It'll just pop out. One.
You put those in, right?
I did, yeah. 2, hold on. Hold on.
Are you cutting it?
Okay, you slide down, slide down. You're right there. Okay, be careful at the top because I cut part of it. It can be very sharp.
Oh yeah, that is very hard. I'm not even gonna grab it.
Well, we're going that way. There should be spots up there that aren't cut on your end. Okay. I can just trim that top edge up when I'm done. And there we are. I got this last little piece to trim off right here, which I can do from the inside for the most part. Now that it's down, the majority of it I can connect on now here, I can see the entire cut. So I'll probably actually cut it from out here. And this, a lot of moisture up. Well, that doesn't connect anymore. A lot of moisture up here. So again, while we're trying to do this, which I don't like how much that's starting to rust already. We're gonna put trim, we'll be putting trim metal on it. You'll never see it again. I may spray it with some paint before we get that far, just to make sure it seals. But again, once this is sealed in, it'll be sealed in and dry. So, and I don't know if this is from sitting out in my yard. It very well could be from just sitting out in the yard while it was snowing and it just started to rust. But this has been water. There's been a lot of water in here, so I need to get that taken care of to keep the moisture out from in here. Having this garage door here will help keep the moisture down. Okay, I'm gonna trim this down, and then it's probably gonna be dinner time. I'm gonna go get some dinner, then tack up Andrew's car, get some tack welds on it, and probably address this tomorrow. I have got 2 days till the rain comes, and I may mount some boards. We'll see if I get that done tonight, but yeah, I got 2 days till the rain comes, so I'm okay with that. I do want to check one other thing though. Well, the biggest difference is there's a breeze here. I don't know if you can see this piece of material moving. It's moving air through this part of the garage. The back still may get a little warm. Just moving air back to this far. It's actually cooled off back here as well. Just being able to move air through is pulling this warm air at least out. And I can feel air movement right here. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, that's really all I wanted. Get some airflow in here, help this dry out a little bit more before we get the gravel in, and get that functioning garage door. So that'll probably be it for today. Next time, by tomorrow, I'll start working on this again. I may try to get the boards up tonight, but I don't know if I'll have time for the actual fastening of the garage door to the wall. So, cool beans. Welcome back. The plan was to come home from work today and start putting doors up behind me. I did get the 2x6s up on the frames here to support the rails. And when I got home, I'm like, before I put these up, I'm gonna wash the panels because it is a used door that I bought. And like I said, it was $150. And I realized when I was washing them that I was missing a whole bunch of hardware. So I had to go to the store and get hardware and get odds and ends. And by the time I went through everything that I needed to make sure I had everything, it's kind of late. I'm still gonna try to start to get a couple of rails up, but we'll see if that happens. But here's what we have. So here's the door. This is actually flipped over. This is the bottom piece, and that's this next panel up. I hosed them off. They were covered in sawdust and stuff, but I was missing hinge screws for this side. So I had to go out and get those. Insulation here is kind of ripped, but it is an insulated panel, which is great. I wasn't expecting to get an insulated panel. It's kind of an ugly green. It's actually not even that bad of a green. I don't mind it. But I probably will paint it. And I'll paint it to match the gray of the building. I haven't decided yet. Make it white. Go back to white. It used to be white. You can see on the edge. Go back to white so it matches the front shop door. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. But I'll show you what I got in here. These tracks here are what we have to modify, and I'll explain to you shortly why we're going to be modifying those tracks. Okay. Bolts for the doors to bolt my hinges in. They're not exactly the same, but that's what they're designed to do, so they're similar enough. I was missing 3 of the nuts that hold that system to this system, kind of like how that one is over there. I'm missing the nuts in that, so I got new ones of those. And I didn't have lag bolts to anchor this track to the 2x6 that's on the frame now. And these are just bolted in. These are self-tappers, and they are plenty good in there that I'm not concerned about it. And then I hammered a block of wood there, and at that end right there. And that's going to be the stop for the door height, because that's where the concrete will be. I mean, it's obviously adjustable once you put the garage door opener in, or if I don't get my garage door opener in, it will be adjustable to when it hits the ground it stops. But that's kind of where I want it to be. So why we have to modify this thing? And I don't know if this is going to work. I 100% do not know if this is going to work. I know they make them designed this way, and they're slightly different than what you get with a door of this height. But if I'm ever gonna put a lift behind me in this bay that is the 16 foot wide bay here, this double bay, and if I wanna put a lift right where Ruby is, it would be a 4-post lift most likely, because I want my lifts to be able to move just in case we have to modify the setup. This door cannot come up as short as it is. So I want this door to go straight up this wall, but from this point here to this point here, right there, it is 80 inches, so just shy of 7 feet. And the door, obviously, if it's 7 feet here, it would need to be 7 feet up there to make it fit, because else I'm going to run into, where is it? That. I'm going to run into. So I'm hoping to be able to flip these things around, so right when it gets to this point, the door kicks out like that. That's my hope. So I'm going to have to remove this bracket, remove this whole assembly. I'll put it back together so it's like this, how this one's all one piece. But remove this assembly, and once this is back together again and removed, I can mount this to the upright tracks, get that mounted where it's got to go, and then try to flip these upside down. So the left track will become the right track, and the right track will become the left track. That way this goes up in the ceiling properly and then kicks away from the wall at the very end. So that is the plan. Let me get a few minutes here to remove those brackets that I don't need, and then we'll get these up. We'll bring a panel, the first panel in here, and set it in, and kind of get the width of these set up. And again, I have done doors before, but they've been brand new. This has got the pulleys on it, all the hinges are on it. It's slightly different than when you get a brand new door. So it might be a little fiddly, trying to keep pulleys in, not pulleys, keeping the wheels in and getting wheels in, but we'll figure it out. So let me get the door panel brought in, and then we'll figure out how to get these tracks mounted to the wall. This is where our door sits, and my concern now is that that roller is sitting below level. And just drop down. Like that. And you want, say, about a ½ inch for your door to move back and forth. So there's our track all the way down to the bottom. It's almost to floor level. We'll get the bottom anchor put in, then we'll level the track. So we're running 5/16 lags with washers. We'll drop this back down here again. I'm going to be just above the floor to make sure I get my roller. A little low. About there. Okay. So 5/16 lag with washer. They're 1.5 inches long. Pre-drill it. Track up. there is darn close. Adjust it a little bit. Okay, so we got, let's see how close we're to level now. I go a little bit this way. Real close, even with all the slop in this. So you want a little bit of play in this this roller. So it's got a little bit of play. This one a little closer, but that's all the way down. It's not going to shouldn't change much. Now go to the other side. Do the same thing on this side. The door should be pretty darn close to center. I mean, I'm probably within a 1/4 inch of center, and that should be good. So let me get this track in. We'll bring in the next panel, but that's going to be tricky because the rollers are, the rollers aren't on the upper hinge. So we'll have to figure out how to get those in with the tracks on. We may have to drop it from the top. We'll figure it out. They're not that heavy, so let's go from there. Now, because this is a used door, we're gonna have to assemble it slightly different. Okay. So get it around the front, get your wheel. No, hold on, you have to lift your door, so your wheel goes in the top of the track. Oh, you gotta wait for me. Gotta wait for me. Okay, we're all the way down. And it sits like that. You can't fall in, the wheel's on top. Yeah. And then I connect these hinges. And that section is done. Or those 2 sections are done. And we just keep stacking them like that.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Where are the other 2 pieces?
Over here. I gotta wash them still.
Oh, gotcha.
But I want to get these in and make sure this is all working. Yeah, if someone got a hole in the insulation, not the worst thing. I'll put some tape over it, just so it doesn't tear anymore. Like that's the foil tape. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, babe.
You're welcome. Are you done with me, or do you need me again?
If I need you, I'll call you. Which I might need you, so I might call you. Okay. Okay, now that this one's in, it's just going to be flip these hinges up and screw them back in where they belong. And it'll pull the door tight. Now I'm hoping that this has got to be the next panel, because that's where these locks are. That's where this lock is. It must be sitting slightly higher than they had it. It doesn't line up. But we will adjust that later. This is still looking at about 3/8 to 1/2 in the middle. This side is less than that. So we're still doing good as far as keeping the door centered left to right in our tracks as best as we can. Plumb horizontal. Let's see if I can get this panel in by myself. They don't weigh much, but trying to get it lined up on the pulleys or the casters might be difficult. Nope, let's scoot over. There we go. That actually was not difficult at all. So let's end it for tonight. I'm missing rollers. They might be in the bag of the parts we got, but they might not be. We may just be missing parts. They may have fallen out somewhere. So I'm missing 2 rollers. So the top 2 rollers I need to find and put in, or buy 2 new ones. And then we'll disassemble that track and figure out how to get that track reversed and up on top of here the other direction, which I have no idea how we're gonna do, but we'll figure it out. It's fabrication. If I can fabricate things on a vehicle, I can fabricate a door. But looking good, let's go look at it from the outside. That one looks a little different color because I didn't wash that one, but we'll wash that later. We are looking good. Our gap, you can see a small line between the door and the wall there. And same thing, there's a little bit more here, but again, it's minimal. And then there will be weather stripping here anyway to seal the door, so I'm not even concerned about that. Okay, we will see you guys tomorrow. We'll try to at least have the door in tomorrow complete and get the spring and everything all installed, and probably not tight tomorrow, but have it in. And then we'll hopefully try to figure out that track. Picking up where we left off yesterday. The door is still how it is. I did find 1 roller. I'm still missing the other roller that goes in that bracket. But I want to get this taken apart a little bit so I can mount probably one of the 2 of these brackets so I can figure out how this is going to work up there. Again, I've got to save as much room as possible just in case there's a lift that goes here. These have to go straight up the wall. So I'm going to see if I take this bracket off and flip these tracks reverse, if it'll work. So I'm going to get, this one's mostly off, I think. Maybe that one's, I don't know, one of them's mostly off. And then once it's off, I'll see what I can do with it. So this would go in. Like that. Been messing around with this for a few minutes off camera because again, I really don't know what I'm doing, and I'm really trying to figure out how to make this work. And I've seen if you were to take and put like a 10-foot, if you were to want to put a 10-foot door in your garage, you can do that without wasting all your existing track. They make an extender. Well, the extender also moves the pulley up. The kit that you can buy to make a 10-foot door opening is an extra piece of track here that extends this thing up higher. And I didn't understand why that had to happen until just now, and it's going to change how I have to build this. Door going straight up is just fine, not going to be a problem. I even mounted this piece up here. I'm like, this is perfect. The other bar would come out here, so instead of that bar, I took a piece of the angle channel that you use to hang the rails and cut it to fit here to give me that strength I need. Let me bring you in. So normally the other bar would come out this way, and that's what your curve piece would hook to here, and then make the curve over to here and come out this direction. Well, I don't want that to do that anymore, but you still need the support to hold this pulley or bearing bracket to this one. So I just cut a piece of small this, reset it, and it's fine. It's super strong. It's not going anywhere. Here's the problem. Once you put the pulley right here, the door's right below it. That is why this has to be above the curve of your door, because your door would curve right below it. Your pulley wouldn't run into it. So my thought now is this is going to have to kick back from here sooner than I wanted to. So let me tell you what my thought is on that. So my thought is actually I'm going to remove this shorty here, make a longer one that I can put this on an angle, and I might cut it, I might not cut it. I don't know if I need to cut it for the angle. I don't think it's really going to be a big deal, but just so this thing comes inside the pulley diameter. So I have to figure out what my pulley diameter is off of the center to figure out where this has to go. And then I can take another piece of this angle, bring it straight out here, put a hole and support it there. That'll give me one support to keep it where it needs to be here. I mean, obviously I'm gonna have to support it higher, and I can do that, that's not a problem. But at least that'll give me the angle I'm looking for to see if it works. It's still not anywhere near in the way of any of, if I had a lift in here, so it's fine where it's gonna sit. I just have to support it so it doesn't come down. And again, I can put a 2x4 or a 2x6 up higher and bring steel down to it. So I, again, have to measure the pulley. I'm wondering if like that setting, like if I were to put it right there, if the pulley would hit. I'll have to take a measurement on that. And then I'll just drill a hole here, connect these all out, and we'll be good with that. So let me do some of that finagling and figuring, and I'll bring you guys back in when that happens, because I don't know how long this is going to take to do that part, but that's the plan. As much as I hate to do it, we're going to have to break this episode into two parts. I've got way too much footage, and I'm still actually working on the final bits of the garage door install, and I'm waiting on a couple of parts. So I hope you'll stay tuned for the second part when we actually finish it up. But thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope everybody has a great week.